Hey, this is your host Bethany with Career Source Suncoast, coming to you directly from sunny Sarasota, Bradenton. I'm here to bring you real stories from our community. Everything from struggles to success and the impact of what it really means working the Suncoast. Welcome back to Working the Suncoast. On today's episode, we are talking about side gigs. The gig economy is attracting more and more people daily. As of 2018, freelancers represent 1 in 3 U.S. workers, and that's about 35%. It's said that freelancers tend to value their lifestyles over their earnings compared to 64% of those only working one job. Today, I am bringing on 2 close colleagues to explain why they have chosen to incorporate a side hustle into their current 40-hour work week. Today, my first guest is Diana Heaven. She works with us full-time here at Career Source as a career coach, but she also does a few other gigs on the side. Diana, tell me a little bit about your typical work week.
Thanks, Bethany. My typical work week consists of Career Source Suncoast 40 hours, and after those 40 hours, it goes into hustle mode. So what that looks like for me, scheduling appointments, branding myself, because I am in the beauty industry. So in the beauty industry, it's not standard. If you don't get yourself out there, you don't get any coins. So with that being said, I probably work a good 60-hour work week, 40 at Career Source and 20 with the branding.
Well, Diana, I feel you on that one because I work 40 hours here during the week, and then on the weekends I tend to revert back to my college days and go back to the restaurant and I serve, which is always really good money for those of you who are just looking to pick something up on the side. Serving is amazing. But sometimes, I get really tired and sometimes it's hard to find the motivation. What do you find the most challenging in juggling both?
Well, you can't really manage time, but you can prioritize. So with that being said, with Career Source being the standard 40 hours a week, you know that you're going to get compensated for that. That, takes priority. But the long-term goal of me not wanting to clock in for the rest of my life is that motivation of, okay, get those 20 hours together, prioritize and organize those 20 hours and what that looks like. So the time is the challenging part of, working, 2 or more jobs.
I totally agree. Timing is everything, it seems like, when it comes to any type of job that you're doing. Is it for you that you just value having that extra income? I know through my experience, I just really enjoy not sitting on the couch on my weekends and just kind of vegging out, but I enjoy going and being with my friends and, making that extra cash on the side is always a plus. Is this a passion of yours or it's just something that you do?
Well, it's a combination of both. Being a parent, obviously, that extra income comes in handy, but what the gig is the passion part of it. It's easy to go and, get a second job, practically anywhere. By the way, I loved when I served. But with me being a full-time parent, a full-time professional, I had to figure out a way to incorporate and, again, prioritize my time for my child, but also what am I passionate about and how can I make that work for me? So it's a little bit of both. It's the need along with, hey, I'm passionate about this. I'm good at this. Why not make this work for me?
Do you think, through your experience, because you've been through a couple different side hustles and so have I personally, do you think it's something that everybody can do? Or is it just you have to have a specific personality for it, certain mentality? Or do you think anybody could just pick this up?
I definitely think it's a mindset. It's challenging. You have 2 sets of supervisors, 2 sets of processes and procedures, 2 groups of personalities that you're working with. So I definitely think it's a mindset thing. You have to be determined. And sometimes it starts off as, hey, I have a goal to accomplish. So again, it all starts with the mindset.
Since you're passionate about your side hustle, obviously. It's something that you really enjoy doing. It's something that's part of you. What would you say to somebody who maybe doesn't have a passion about something extra, that they just really want to make that little extra cash? Would you recommend they do something like a ride sharing? What's the first thing that comes to your head when you think side hustle, side gig?
If someone is not passionate about something in particular, I would say, what is the goal that you're trying to accomplish? The purpose of the side gig, but also what is it that you're good at? If you're not passionate about something, okay, do what you're good at. Simple.
I totally agree with that. It's one of those things that it's like, for me, serving's like riding a bicycle. It's like, do I want to do this every single day forever? No, probably not. But is it something that I can do, that I enjoy doing every once in a while, that brings in a couple $100 a day? Yeah, why not? So I think having these options is always just a really good opportunity for other people. And you can either pick it up over here or over there. And there's just so many opportunities, and it's such a growing thing. Do you have an opinion on like contracted work? Is that something that you would be interested in?
Contracted work is very important, especially in like the beauty industry, because if you're not in a salon and you are the business, that's how you get paid. So, advertising yourself to get those contracts, freelance work, just different things like that. So contract work, it's also big right now, and it's a way for you to be your own boss as well, So I think that is important.
With some of the other people that I've interviewed for this podcast, I see such a entrepreneurial spirit kind of come out of all of my interviewees, and I'm kind of just surprised by all of it. But would you say that, not necessarily to have like a side gig, like me where I serve, or where other people where they do like ride sharing or maybe Uber Eats or something like that. But for you, where your hustle is actually what you want to be doing, do you think you have to have kind of like an entrepreneurial spirit to do this? Do you need other resources? Do you have to do that extra research? Or is it just something that's come natural to you?
The skill set is what's natural to me. Starting the brand / eventually business, that's where you definitely need resources. You definitely need to do your research because, again, the skill, the craft is the natural part. That's what's going to make you the money. That's where the passion comes in. But not everyone knows what it takes to actually start a successful business. So doing your due diligence for yourself, researching, connecting, finding a mentor, and really grasping what it takes to be successful, because it's a lot of long and hard days before you get to lay back by the pool in your mansion. Like it's a goal that can be accomplished, but that's far off. But you definitely have to start off in the trenches, and equipping yourself with how to do so is very, very important.
I know we're kind of from a similar age group, being in that like 20 to 30 age group. Do you feel like maybe this is a new thing that's coming into play? Obviously, this whole concept of a gig economy has grown substantially over the last 5 years. Do you see in your experience a lot of people that are just around our age group, or do you see a lot of other age groups taking part in this opportunity as well?
Well, right now in the workforce, there are quite a few generations. I believe there's like 3 generations right now that are actively in the workforce. But one thing about our age group, the 20 to 30, we don't want to clock into someone's job for the rest of our lives. We understand that, for right now money, I may have to do this, but I believe our generation are putting together the plans. We're the future entrepreneurs, and there's going to be a lot of innovation coming from just our generation, because again, we're almost kind of like the popcorn generation. We don't want to sit there and wait 5 years, 30 years to be successful. If I can, X everything out and just focus on my goal for these next 2 years, I'd rather take that time and focus strictly on that and be successful in 2 years versus maybe the older generation. They're like, well, I need to be doing this and I need to be doing that while accomplishing my dreams. and it takes them 30 years to get there. We're like, no, I don't want to do anything but focus on my dreams because this is what I want. I think this generation, that's a bonus for us because we are very clear and concise about what it is that we want, and we will go after that.
Diana, I am going to close with that one, and I want to say thank you so much for coming on. And next up, we will have one of my good colleagues, Sam. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, here's my second guest, Sam. Sam, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a career coach here at CareerStar Suncoast, and I'm currently managing the Welfare Transition Program, the SNAP program. I also do and work with people that are receiving unemployment compensation benefits, and just help our regular clients coming in the door, that are looking for jobs.
That's fantastic. Tell me about your other job.
My other job is with a debt settlement company, which I've been employed already for over a year and a couple of months. And what I do is help people resolve their credit card debt, or maybe they have any personal loan debt. Through our program, we can help them save both time and money.
Okay, so you're here about 40 hours a week. What are your typical hours doing your other job?
My typical hours are, I average around 20 hours weekly at my other job. So I do work 4 days during the week, which would be Monday through Thursday, and then it varies whether I go in on a Friday or I go in on a Saturday, but it's just for 4 hours. So
you work like 8 to 5 here, and then you go there afterwards?
Yes. As soon as I get out of here, 4:30, then I'll go in and I'll get out around 9:30.
Do you feel like you're tired a lot?
Yes, actually. I don't know how this all kind of happened for me because I'm just so used to working an 8-hour shift. Actually, this is my first part-time job ever in my life. So how I'm managing it, sometimes I don't even know myself, but I think I gotten already accustomed to working these many hours, and it just feels normal now just for me to get out of my first job and then go straight into the second job.
Did it take a lot of time for you to acclimate to such an environment where you are working so often?
I think what made it easier was the fact that I'm still in an office setting. So if it's a little bit more physical demand where, I'm actually having to do things, running back and forth, or lifting anything, then maybe that would be a little tough on me. So, but right now, because I'm in an office setting, I'm on a headset, just answering calls, inbound calls, and it's a relaxed environment there. It's only a crew of 5 people, so I have my own little cubicle there and that's it. So.
Well, that works out really well. I know when I work a full day here and then I get called into the restaurant, I am just like, wow, let's go get some coffee. But it all works out at the end. Everybody really acclimates differently to different environments, and depends on your energy level, I guess. Do you find that you, because you are working more often than the average person, do you feel like it interferes with your personal time at all?
Well, my personal time, I mean, I at least wanted to have time for myself as well. So during the week, obviously I have no life, it's 8 to 9, almost a 12-hour shift. And so during the week, I know for sure I got nothing going on. But I leave my weekends, to actually do my own personal things that I need to do. And then, maybe hit the gym if I wanted to, which I do. That's what I end up doing. So it balances out, not as much as I want to, but it does still give me time for myself and for what I want to do.
Do you have an ultimate goal for working both of these jobs? Is it just something that you do on the side, or something that you kind of just found yourself that you've fallen into? Or is there one that you like better than the other one? Like, what is your ultimate goal through doing both of these?
Well, my goal was to actually save for a house. My first house. And so that's why I kind of did it in the beginning. And at the beginning, yes, I didn't know what I was getting into because, again, this is my first part-time job ever. So, but now that I've been working, I like the fact that I'm actually not touching this money that I'm working at. It's just, I'm just saving it, and that for that purpose, because I'm trying to get into this, having my own place, or have it as an investment property. So, it's working fine till now, and I mean, sometimes it's hard on me to continue working every week. And I say, I'm just gonna kind of quit, but something just keeps on, letting me to think that, don't give up yet. Just continue saving. I mean, what else are you gonna do? So why not? So
I definitely approach my part-time job with the same kind of mindset. Don't do it. You want the money. It's good. You're having fun sometimes. I mean, obviously everybody has their ups and downs when it comes to having that extra work that they really just want to get done. But on that note, I know I asked Diana a very similar question. Do you think you need to have a specific type of mindset to be able to, work so often and maybe have 2 different jobs or have some sort of entrepreneurial spirit? Or is it just something that, do you think anybody could do this?
I think you have to have that desire to actually, want to, work 2 jobs. It has to be on there. And you have to be responsible because, I mean, as it is with one employer, I mean, the responsibilities that entails, and then you taking on new responsibilities with a new employer and having to do their type of work, how they want it done. So it's just not, I want to say it's not for everybody, but then it just takes a certain person to actually have 2 jobs. I mean, it says a lot of a person that has 2 jobs. And so it makes me think of a client that actually came in the door, how this kind of started for me. This individual that came in the door was working 2 jobs and came in and said that he was looking for another job. And the reason was because he has kids. So his wife didn't work. They didn't have childcare or anything. And so here I'm like thinking, well, this guy actually has a reason to work 2 jobs, sometimes even 3 jobs. Maybe things on the side because it's not enough. I mean, I get it. He has a family and there's bigger responsibility with the family. But here I have myself where I don't have that type of responsibilities. So I could be able to work 2 jobs and I don't, or I wasn't all this time. I haven't. So I'm kind of like just pretending that I got kids and that's why I'm kind of doing it. And so in a way, it's helping me because I'm saving this money that I don't need to put in towards those type of things for individuals that have like a family. So, yep.
Well, I think that's really nice, and your future children, I'm sure, will thank you for all of this hard work. Tell me, I know that's a really good example of this client that you had. Do you interact with a lot of clients that are working multiple jobs?
Actually, the clients that come in, no, they don't. Most of the ones that are coming in, they're receiving these type of assistance, cash assistance, food stamps. They're unemployed, but here now and then, I do stumble upon one that is working 2 jobs or has a job and then is doing something on the side, with no employer, just him probably cutting lawn or, helping out somebody doing a project or something like that. But I've had some people that are working, these 2 type of jobs.
Well, contracted work is getting super popular. Just the other day, I was talking to one of our other coworkers here, and he just told me that he spends the weekend doing something similar, like what you said, just contracted work, building houses. So there are so many different options when it comes to these side gigs, such as ride sharing or serving or what you do. Would you, because it's not like an entrepreneurial type thing for you, it's not your main goal, if someone were to offer you something else, would you be open-minded about switching?
Like entrepreneuring, like having my own?
Like if you stopped doing your weekend job and you decided to pick up something totally different.
I think I would want to actually do something on my own. So what I was thinking was investing on a property and then like me kind of like buying the property, fixing it up, and then reselling it, that type of thing. So if it's something where I'll have my own business, I think it'll be something doing like that because I like being working on just projects, home projects at least. And I want to learn that kind of stuff. So I think if I do something like that, I'll do like remodeling, things like that.
That sounds fun. Diana was telling me, she said something previously, and I loved it. She said nobody in our age bracket wants to be under somebody else. They want to be their own boss. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't picture myself there yet, but I think, anybody would. Nobody wants to be having to go to work at a certain hours, and they would want to be their own boss. I just haven't thought about what actually I would want to do that eventually, but I do see myself in the future, me being the boss and having employees under me. Yeah.
There's that entrepreneurial spirit that just keeps popping up in every one of these interviews. Yeah. So tell me, last question. What's the main value of doing this, working just all this out all the time and so diligently, having multiple positions, multiple bosses, 2 different schedules? What is the ultimate value of doing this?
I think the ultimate value is just, I'm growing as a person. Here I'm taking a new role with this new job, new responsibilities. I'm not a risk taker, but I decided to kind of just do this and see where this is going to lead, but I think it's something good. It's something good for me for right now. And like I said, it's part of growth. And so, I'm just so eager to learn other things, and I'm just trying to wrap my mind around different things and to see what other avenues I have available in the future.
Sam, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for listening to Working the Suncoast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you consume your audio. Don't forget to download our app, available for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. To learn more, visit careersourcesuncoast.com. Thanks again, and we'll be back soon with a new episode.